Welcome to Martini Time. This is the evening broadcast from the Last Jedi Night. I'm hiding here in Blackstone where nobody knows where I am. I enjoy this metaphor. So join me tonight. The title of this talk is Wear the Crown. And just a minute. I can't start unless I get some martini down. Wear the Crown. I just finished watching the TV series The Crown, the second year, and now I'm going back and watch the first one again, so I can connect the dots. When you watch a movie, at least when I watch a movie, it begins to reveal its good series. It reveals its truth to you through connecting the dots. Its understanding is revealed when you connect the dots. And this is anything. If you're just learning how to open up a box requires that you connect the dots. My wife is very good at connecting dots with material things. I can be stumped by the simplest objects, and she can come along and connect the dots and push this and push that, and boop, it opens. You know, that kind of connecting the dots. So I'm very dependent upon her, unfortunately, because she's better than that. But I'll get into that in a minute. But when it comes to ideas, that's where I connect the dots. So we kind of like her like this. You see, I connect ideas. She connects doodads and boxes and things to make stuff, and fix things, and open things up, you see. So anyway, been watching The Crown, and fascinated by this because it's very deep. It's like a wedding cake. It's got layers to it, you know. It's a layer cake. When you first watch a movie, you just eat the first layer. But then there are layers in there that only begin to reveal themselves to you when you get a nagging. I really enjoy this. I like movies that nag me. You see a movie and it nags me. There's something more here. There's something deeper here. What is it? I want to know. There's a question here. There's an understanding here. There's something I need to know. What is it? This nagging. In Zen, it's called the great doubt. The purpose of Zen is to awaken this doubt. Who am I? What's it all about? What is this nagging question? I want to know. I want to know. I don't know, but I want to know, you see. So movies are kind of like Zen cones. They create this doubt. And good movies can keep you going forever. They keep revealing more and more, not about information, but about yourself. There's the question. Who am I, you see? And so the great metaphorical movies reveal yourself to you like a mirror. So the movie is a mirror, a story that you get involved in, that has mystery, that has a reason to watch, you see. You want to know who did it. You want to know the ending. Is it happy? Is it sad? We want to know. So the movie draws us in, you see, with this built-in intention to move you through it. And yet the great movies, the great books, have a different intention. Maybe not different, but a deeper intention to reveal yourself to you. So you have to be willing to allow the movie to be you and to reveal itself to you from inside you. So what is The Crown? You see, now this is so great. I love the logo, the opening. I hope y'all have seen some of this. If not, better watch it. It's on Netflix. And the opening logo is great because it looks like a starship. They take the crown and they go into it, the gold. They go into it in great detail. So it looks like a starship galaxy or something. You don't know what it is. It's revealing itself to you. If you zoom back, you say, oh, it's a crown. But when you zoom in real close, you see, what is this? Oh, it's so beautiful. You see, and this is the way, like if you zoom in on a flower, pull back, oh, it's a dandelion. But zoom in, you say, where are we? What the perception, their perspective is changed. We're inside of a flower, you see. And we always find these little games, puzzles on the internet and everything. What is this? Or the photographer, there's a change in perspective. Oh, where am I? I'm curious. Oh, you connect the dots. Oh, I'm there. We experience this all the time when maybe you dope off when you're driving and suddenly you go, wait, where am I? I don't recognize anything. Oh, there's a store I recognize. I connect the dot. Boom. I know where I am, you see. But there's that moment of not knowing where you are. There's that question, who am I? You see. And so the crown then takes on that dimension to me. Who am I? Am I the son of God? Now the crown, mythologically, the king is the God-man. If you go back into history, ancient history, the king had charisma. He was the God-man, the center that held the society together. If the king died, the society fell apart. This was really brought to point in my readings when you study the history of not Cortez, but the Inca, Pizarro, whoever, the guy that conquered the Incas. He went into this civilization with 300 or 400 soldiers. They were surrounded with 10,000 soldiers. And the king came down. Who are these people? Who are these people that invade my land, you see? And he came down as the king. And Pizarro, I assume that's his name, took him hostage. What a mad act. What an insane act. You got 10,000 warriors surrounding you. You're just a few hundred men. And you take the king hostage. And the army fell apart. Their center was gone. Their crown was gone. They fell apart. And he just took over. They were powerless, like ants when you killed the queen. Or the bees when you killed it. The hive fell apart, you see. So look at the English Empire. It's a beehive. It's got a monarchy, a crown. And the movie's about protecting that crown. Protecting it at all costs. And so it's really a study of what is the crown? Is it a metaphor? It doesn't have any real power. The prime minister has power. The government has power to do things. All the monarchy can do is do things in their castle. Can paint it, arrange the furniture. It's a family. They can do things in the family. But they have no power in the country. So what's the power of the king, the monarchy? That's a good question. Is it necessary in the modern age? Should everything be flat and pragmatic? You see. So what's the value of the myth? So the monarchy is a myth, you see. An ancient myth. What's its value? So that's one of the questions the crown reveals. And there's another question. And this is the clash of traditions. The opening episode is about the marriage of Elizabeth, and she is in a traditional marriage, English marriage, Christian marriage, and they put this in the ceremony. She vows to obey the husband. She vows to obey the husband. Yet, she's the future queen. Now what do? Does she obey the husband? Does the husband obey her? So that is an interesting theme that the crown works out. What happens when these two traditions clash, you see? And in the opening episode, which I just watched, the king who's dying of lung cancer, and he tells Philip on a hunting trip, your job is to protect and support your wife, the future queen. Nobody knows he's dying. But your job is to support her, you see. Which is kind of like contrary to his whole masculine identity, you see. It's being flipped. Philip's being flipped. So a lot of the story is about the flipping of Philip. How does he adjust? How does he work out this duty to the nation and duty to himself as the husband, as the one who decides, you see. The husband, the king of the household, is the one who decides. That's the tradition. The husband decides. The wife may maneuver, manipulate, may co-reign and everything, but the idea here is that you can't have two deciders. When you have a relationship, if you're going to go somewhere together, only one person's going to decide. You can't both decide and go in opposite directions. So you make arrangements. You make a bargain. You make a deal, you see. But there's always this conflict. Who decides? Does one defer to the other? You decide. When I give away martini glasses, quite often, a couple will come, and I say, pick a martini glass. And the woman will say, oh, and she can adapt, oh, I like that one. And the husband is kind of like, and the wife says, oh, how about this one, honey? And you say, oh, that's just the right one, thank you. He couldn't decide. And I was watching The Hurt Locker. I've been working on that movie too. My time is run, so I'm going to close now. And when he left his warrior job in Iraq, and he came back and lived in America as a husband, and he was sent to the grocery store to choose some cereal, and he couldn't decide. He couldn't decide, you see. Anyway, thanks for dropping in. We'll continue this talk about the crown, mixed in with a little bit of The Hurt Locker, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay.